economically. You are nothing. Fulani have reduced all of you to their level, to their Janjaweed level. That is what they have succeeded in doing. But unfortunately, some of you are too blind or poorly educated to understand it. I'll read the letter from Woodward Group. Very, very interesting. I love it. Listen attentively, please. I beg of you. We write to honor you with this letter, given the floundering opportunities for a dialogue on the future of Nigeria, which has eluded the various ethnic groups in Nigeria, and which may not... I'll read the letter from Woodward Group. Very, very interesting. I love it. Listen attentively, please. I beg of you. We write to honor you with this letter, given the floundering opportunities for a dialogue on the future of Nigeria, which has eluded the various ethnic groups in Nigeria. I'll read the letter from Woodward Group. Very, very interesting. I love it. Listen attentively, please. I beg of you. We will kidnap you. We will vulgarize you. We will take over your waterways. We are Fulani. We do all we can. After all, Britain is backing us. We can do anything we like. 7 million messing up the lives of 193 million people. Now, tell me why those 193 million people are not fools. Are Fulani people more intelligent than you are? Are they more educated than you are? Ask yourself, how come all of you are sitting down there talking your useless one Nigeria as Fulani are busy encroaching to your towns, your villages, using terrorism, using everything they have in the books? I recall somebody who wanted to contest for election in Biafra land a few years ago. You know what they told him? People, you'll be shocked. People told him, please go to the north and look for one mayor or one Alhaji to sponsor you. So for you to govern a state in Biafra land, you have to go to the north to get the ones of Fulani, the same Fulani telling you about building the nation. They know that the best way to build the nation will be through a sovereign national conference, a dialogue to determine how people are going to live. They know that, but they will not ask for that. The only thing they will offer you is keep going to polling station and keep voting until one day, miraculously, one person will emerge as a good person, and then will lead you into El Dorado, the promised land, with gold and silver, where the rivers will be flowing with power and milk. Common sense. Ask anybody, what is the solution to the problem in the zoo? They will tell you it is a national dialogue by people who are serious, not by the compromised idiots. They know themselves. Will they do that very thing? The answer is no. They will tell you, go and vote. Go and vote, because they know if you vote, they will rig. They know if you vote, they will control. Don't you know that? I love this Yoruba group. What is their name again? I will go get to their name. Let's go. Given the drumbeats of armed violence caused by Fulani people are the ones killing people. Even a national dialogue, there is no more hope. They said restructure, Fulani said no. They said review constitution, Fulani said no. Because a Fulani man wrote the constitution. Had it been any other person that wrote that constitution and foisted it on Fulani, they would have changed everything by now. 7 million people enslaving all of you, 193. They come to you, they get one or two of your corrupt leaders, and they give them some chicken change. They go for a meeting in the house of Edwin Clark. Edwin Clark will call NMPC chairman and say, oh, do you know I have social cultural groups in my house? We are meeting from the south. The man will say, oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, come, Bolaji, advance them 20 million from there, please. Yes, sir, take it to as expenses. These people will come to the house of Edwin Clark. They share them 3 million. Head of socio-cultural groups, and they go back, and the zoo is as bad as ever. And this people, they claim they love us, they are our leaders, they are our elders, and things are getting worse every blessed day, and they do nothing. All they do is and even before they issue their statement, they will say, oh, please, I'm going to write something, oh, don't mind me, let us just say it. Our people are very restive, they are worried, please, let us just do something. Let us just make a statement. The last opportunity to constructively engage you and the Fulani nation is this letter. This is the last time, this Odua group is saying, this is the last time we are going to write to you in a civil manner, because the problem is getting out of hand. We Now here comes their name. On behalf of Abato Odua Koya, which is AOKOYA for short, the acronym. A coalition of several Ishekiri, Edo, and Yoruba groups write with our deepest feelings about the Nigerian state and what appears to be the pitfalls that lie ahead, most of which are oiled and orchestrated by your own people, the Fulani, albeit consciously. In other words, as the parliamentarian said in the UK, Fulani know what they're doing. They are the ones pushing terrorism. They are the ones advancing Fulanization. They are the ones conquering you. As I said, I want you to ask any of your Biron friends in Plateau State. Ask them. You claim you are from Biron. You believe in one Nigeria. One Nigeria. This thing you're doing, but in your village, in your local government, you cannot even be an ordinary local government chairman. This ties into what I said before. The more you support Nigeria, the more you put your race at risk. That is why anybody talking about one Nigeria from anywhere, that person is an enemy of his or her people. Because one Nigeria means this thing that Britain put together. And this nonsense Britain put together, they gave the powers to the Fulani. Power may come to your village for 4 years. After that, it will go back to the north. And within that, a space of 2 years, they will destroy everything you have done. To go and build one mega refinery in Lagos. And people watch these things every blessed day, and they're moving about, claiming that they're reasonable, that they're intellectuals, that they're well-read, that they're learned. And I'm saying, no, you're not. You're a glorified baboon. You know nothing, your brains are empty. How can you claim you are intelligent? And 4 refineries that could employ an upward of 10,000 people is shut down. And you import petrol. Only that will let anybody who has brain in their skull to understand that these are not human beings. So the petrol you're importing from abroad, where did they refine it? In a refinery. The same refinery that you have. And to make matters worse, you're paying subsidy. You're paying subsidy. The money you claim you don't have, you're paying subsidy for imported petrol. I don't understand it. The same petrol is coming from a refinery abroad. The same refinery that you have in Iguacha, the same you have in One, the same you have in Wari, the same in Kaduna. Why, therefore, now let us assume that those people you are refining in their countries, that they decide to be like you and shut down all the refineries in their countries. Will you have any refinery? Where will you get your petrol from? Where will you get your petrol from, I ask you? Let me go back to this letter. In the past, there was no history of Fulani in today's territory until 1804. There was no Fulani in Nigeria. No, I won't call it now. I'll call it Hausa territory. They only came in 1804. This was 800 years after the Yoruba kingdoms had been established, about 600 years after the Hausa monarchies, the Ejo, the Tiv, the Gala, the Jukun kingdoms had flourished. The Igbo nation had existed for centuries before. We have existed for thousands of years, not centuries. Thousands of years. We are the oldest people on the face of this earth. Thousands of years. I said thousands upon thousands of years. If you go to the pyramid we built in Nsute, that tells you all you need to know. We built pyramids. Before even the first vulture that heralded the coming of the Fulani landed on the Futajalon mountains, before the first vulture that brought Fulani forth, before Udele, before the first vulture was hatched from its egg, we've been existing as a people. They were ancient people. And I thank these people for reminding everybody of that. We recall that your forefathers came to power through brutal and bloody conquest of indigenous peoples in many parts of northern Nigeria under the guise of Islam. That's how they come. We are fighting corruption. We are fighting for Allah, for Islam, and they conquered all of you, all the way to Nupe, all the way to Kwara State. Are you following? Because in life, anybody who went to a proper school will tell you, one of the first things you learn as an undergraduate, even when you do an elective course, is this. They will tell you that history has a knack of repeating itself. History has a habit of repeating itself. That is why we must be vigilant. The Fulanis have done this in the past and they've succeeded. They conquered the Hausa, and the Hausa foolishly helped them to conquer the Bagi. The Bagi foolishly helped them to conquer the Nupe, and everywhere is a Fulani conquest all the way to Jukun people. And all of you are there. You never learned anything from history. You never learned anything. You claim you have professors. There is no village right now that won't boast of having one professor. What does those your professors tell you? Do they educate you? Do they enlighten you at all? Do they actually tell you what life is all about? Has anyone actually sat down? I want to ask those propagating one Nigeria, have you actually sat down to read Fulani history? In fact, that's an assignment this evening. Anybody again who argues with you about one Nigeria or the need to preserve Nigeria or to make it one, no matter who the fool is, just ask the idiot. Please, I beg of you, go and study Fulani history. And after studying Fulani history, you then come back to me and let's have a debate about one Nigeria. You will see that they will repent overnight. You will see that what Fulanis are doing today is a consistent pattern of conquest. That's what they have done from day one. They came into the place called Zoo in 1804. They deceived the Hausa people. The same way they're deceiving some of you today. Every time, 4 years' time, voting somebody who is good. We are looking every 4 years. And as you're focusing on every 4 years, they're encroaching, they're advancing. Using terrorism, using the Nigerian army, using the Nigerian police, who are now admittedly working for Mieti Yalam. Encroaching until what happened to Birom people will not happen to you. That in Birom land, there is no local government where you have a Birom person. They are finished. Is it what you want to see happen to your people? I ask you. That is why everywhere people are rising. And very soon, of course, Middle Belt will rise. You will see, just watch and see. Because if you don't rise up, they will swallow you up. The Hausa people failed to rise up. I will continue. We record that your forebears came. The Fulanis came through brutal and bloody conquest of indigenous people. They took over everywhere. They spread their Islam even to Yoruba land. Hausa land, like Katsina, like Kanu, was swept to one side. As I have written yesterday, even Kanu Brono Empire collapsed. Constant pressure from the Fulani. The Shehu of Brono kept resisting, but they kept fighting until they whittled them down. They couldn't defeat them. That was why they stopped Boko Haram. Why do you think Boko Haram is in Brono? Some of you don't know anything. Why do you think Boko Haram, their epicenter, the epicenter of their struggle is in Brono State, where they want to set up a caliphate? Because they tried for centuries. Brono said no. We are not going to follow the Fulani pattern. But Fulani still succeeded in penetrating and having their emirs. But of course, you still have the Shehu of Brono. Do you know that? Do you know that is why they went there? Do you know that the Fulanis conquered everybody in the north and went to Brono? Brono said no. They will be sleeping at night and the Shehu of Brono and his armies will go and kill all of them. Are you aware of that history? Some of you don't know the Fulani. That is why when I see a fool, when I see a compound illiterate mouthing their rubbish one Nigeria, they don't know they're digging their graves, or should I say the graves of their own people. Because one day they will come and they'll take your land over. And I thank this Yoruba group for pointing this very issue out. So your sojourn, they are now telling the Sultan. So Sultan, your visit to Nigeria in 1804 of your people have been very, very successful. You people are very lucky. Even when Britain came, they took you, they adopted you as their favorite slave and gave you all the powers that you needed. And people claim, what I find astonishing, are you telling me that this history now, being enumerated by Akwapo Odua Koya, are you telling me it's not been there? These things are in your library. If you go to your libraries, they are there. If you go to the internet, they are there. You will know how they came about. You will know how the Fulanis came. A country of over 300 ethnic groups was handed over to you, a foreigner. I love these people. If they can keep up this tempo. Yoruba are now waking up. They're now writing. Yoruba is saying that people who are indigenous to the land when you came was handed over to you very cheaply. First, through conquest, and some of it's part by you, who never owned an inch of land. Do you know that the Fulani, they are not telling you, we want Ruga. We graze our cattle in the forest. We do our business in the bushes. Mietela is telling you. And some of you, even the media, the useless journalists will be there writing. Oh, they did their business in the bush. Let me ask Fulani, you want pathway to come into my forest to come and graze your cattle? Did you bring land when you were coming from Futajalo? Where is your land? Did you ever own land before? You're a nomad. You don't own land anywhere. You are a wandering tribe of beasts. Where on earth have you owned land before? What is the problem in Mali? Some of you don't know the problem in Mali is Fulani. So you don't know? You've heard about Mali. Jonathan is going to do peace. Do you know that Fulani is the problem? Are you aware of that? Are you aware? The thing is that they will never stay in one place. They always want other people's properties. I don't understand the reason why. And I never worked for it. The British in 1960, according to this very letter, the British in 1960 the British left in 1960 and you emerged as the main benefactor. Even though your people were not known to have fought for independence, which Fulani man fought for independence? Does nobody. Did the Fulani people fight the British? No. They welcomed them. But they emerged as the highest benefactors, or should I say the main one. You were wise enough to plant your people in security. They were very clever. Britain told them that the power lay in the gun. Whoever controls the gun, whoever pulls the trigger controls power. So they made sure that their children were in the army. Courtesy of Britain. That was British advice. And they took it. And they went into the army. Very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. Now, what they have done is this letter said it is a reflection of your preference for force. They want to use force, police force, even police. Now, listen to this very carefully. That is why I keep saying, I don't know how else to speak to nigger animals and they will understand. Where did you get your independence from? From who? From Britain. Which means that everything you had upon independence was a mirror image of British life. Is that correct? British laws, British schooling, education system, British healthcare system, everything was British. Is that correct? In Britain, do you have police force in Britain? Is there any IG of police for the whole of England? People don't understand this very fact. Even in the United Kingdom, there is no centralized police system. Yorkshire have their own police. Essex have their own police. Central London have their own police called the Metropolitan Police. Everybody, Kent has its own police. If you go to Merseyside, which is Liverpool, they have their own police. If you go to everywhere, even in Scotland, the constabulary, they are all independent. Do you know why the police is independent and localized? So there will be nobody can get into power and want to overrun everybody by force of arms. Now, you copied Britain. Why did you put the word force in your police? In Britain, does the police carry guns in Britain? They don't carry guns in Britain. I'm asking you, is there lawlessness in Britain? Are people going about blowing people up and killing people? Is there any accidental discharge? Because black people don't treason. Britain, their police is ordinary, it's called a constabulary. Your own is Nigeria Police Force. Force. A police that is supposed to be serving the people is a force. If you do, I will shoot you by force and you will die. That's why you have an idiot in Enugu State. They claim they are planning to arrest IPOB officers. Go and arrest now. Let's see. Go now. Go and arrest. What happened before will happen again. I remember a joke that somebody told me in a bus once. I was traveling from Iguacha with my wife to Lagos. We were going by road. And the man came on the bus and started giving us a joke. And the man was saying, there was a man that stopped a vehicle that was traveling and said, if I'm looking for my wallet. If I don't find my wallet, what happened in 1972 will happen again. And people kept wondering and saying, oh my God, what was this thing that this man did in 1972? Well, the people started begging, if you know you're holding his wallet, make sure you give it to him. Oh. And the driver was worried, everybody. And after a while, after about 3 or 4 hours, after this delay, everybody was panicking, this man is going to do something. They asked the man, what did you actually do in 1972 when your wallet went missing? The man said, I did nothing, I just went home. They nearly beat him to death. Yeah, where we come from. Under the false artificial creation called the zoo, your people, Yorubas are talking to the Sultan, your people produce no oil, yet you appropriate and decide how the resources should be expended. And let me tell you why the Fulanis have succeeded so far. It's because of the lives of Ohaneze and Pandev. You have this so-called sociocultural garbage. All these people that come out and they claim they represent your interest. All they do is that they represent their families. Because ask yourself this question. All of you have been in existence for very many years. What have you, let us look at Pandev, for instance. Pandev, what have you achieved for Niger Delta? Jonathan was in power for 6 years. What was his accomplishment in Niger Delta? Nothing. Are our people drinking clean water? No. Has Ogoniland been cleaned? No. Is there employment? No. Is there in what way does government benefit ordinary people? No, none. There's nothing. Now you understand that some of you, the thing about black people is that we don't want to confront the truth with hard facts. That is the difference between IPOB, what we are doing on Radio Biafra, and any other group of people. We tell you the truth. If you like, you get upset. If you like, you eat your own flesh. If you like, keep turning around like a aeroplane turner. Eventually, you will come to the inescapable conclusion that we are right. They've done nothing for you. Now ask yourself this question. How was it possible that only 7 million can be messing all of you up? Police force, army, everything, they are there with their AK-47. Why? Are they more intelligent than us? The answer is no. Because inside us, there are people who are compromised. I call them the modern day warrant chiefs. They give them some money and they sell their soul and their conscience. There is a new brigade, the Go and Vote Brigade. You have your hope on the next election. Now, every election is an opportunity for you to have hope that things will be better. And you know it never gets better with the zoo. The letter is very long. I'm going to publish it after this very program. I'll put it on my wall so you can go through it. In fact, the invasion of Yoruba land by Fulani headsmen is there. People say, oh, why are people agitating? Why is IPOB collaborating with our Yoruba brethren? Why won't you? All our lives are in danger. We are dying. Fulani want to encroach. They want to go past Kwara State. They want to move all the way to the lagoon in Lagos with their version of Islam. And you think it's Islam. Of course, it's not. Wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet Earth, once again we welcome you to another explosive, exciting. And you're telling me about freedom, they don't want to hear. All they want to do is to eat money. Look at how brave this Yoruba group is writing to the Sultan, telling the Sultan all their sins, the sins of the Fulani. And you're there shouting about Nigeria. They want to spoil Nigeria for us. Go to your village and see what they're doing to it. I feel sorry for those in the Middle Belt. Now they have woken up, but it is a bit, they say better late than never. Then they must hurry up. Middle Belt must hurry up. Wagi must hurry up. Even Hausa must hurry up. You must save yourself. You must save. Forget all this garbage Hausa food. It's not like Hausa Fulani. You must save yourself. Fulanis are killing people everywhere. This letter is very lengthy. Very lengthy. It was signed by Colonel Abimbola Showumi, retired. A colonel. He was like, I'm an elite. I served in the army. I don't want my name to be heard. His name is Colonel Abimbola Showumi, retired. Malam Salou Ahmed Akorede. People are coming out to speak. We started before them. Our own is, we have fought before. We can't fight again. You know how it is. You need to plan very well. Plan for how many years, I ask you? All they want to do is allow us to contest. Anybody who is contesting election becomes an enemy of freedom. Because all they want to do is to contest and to get into power. Once they're into power, it's their turn to eat for 8 years. You have to wait for 8 years. Another idiot comes up, it's my turn to contest. Do you see the chain? And it keeps going. And for some of you who don't understand that Middle Belt has been conquered, I'm going to play something for you. So you understand that they have been conquered. Unfortunately, I cannot post this for you now, but I'll do so immediately after this very program. You are going to listen to a clip of what is happening in the Middle Belt. These are the same Middle Belt people in the army. They are in the police. They are the ones saying, oh, go and kill IPOB. But their villages are gone. And you know the funniest thing is that God is fighting for us. As you're coming and you're trying to kill us for your Fulani masters, your own villages are being taken over by the Fulani bandits. That is how foolish people are. That is why I have said, if you're from the Middle Belt and you're in the army, if you're from the West, Oduduwa, Yoruba land, and you're in the army or police, and you're from the East, you're in the army or in the police, that nonsense they're telling you, police commissioner, let us go and arrest IPOB, let's go and shoot every agitator and every protester. You are giving away your village to them for free. You're a fool. You are doing exactly the same thing that Hausa peasants did. That was why Fulani people killed all their happy kings and replaced them with emirs. Isn't it very funny? Something that happened in 1804, when Gobe fell, Sokoto, President Sokoto, is what people that claim they went to universities are doing today. The same thing Hausa peasants did in 1804 is what some graduates are doing today. The same thing, you are an Igbo man or Igbo woman or you're Biafran, wherever you are. They bring people fighting for your freedom to court. And you want to jail them. You want to adjourn the case. As a magistrate, you don't come to court. As a judge, you don't come to court. You want them to suffer. You want to demoralize us, to abandon our struggle. Your behavior is exactly the same behavior of a Hausa peasant 200 years ago that led to the fall of Gobe and the nnamdi Sokoto, the fall of Katsina. Today they have the emir of Katsina. Today they have the emir of Kanu. Are you listening? Are some of you listening? Some of you that claim you're in the army, you're in the police, you're saving one Nigeria. Do you know that fighting to save one Nigeria means you are giving up your village to Fulani to conquer? Are you aware of that? I want to play something for you. Because some of you are dumb, very, very dumb and foolish indeed. But I must wake you. It is our duty to wake you up. And we are doing so and doing so diligently. And we are not stopping. I want to let people in the Middle Belt understand. You are in the Middle Belt, you are in the army. We are going to shoot at them. We want to arrest them. We want to conquer them. We want to help our... You are helping Fulani conquer your village. Listen very carefully to this, please. Listen very, very carefully. Listen.
In March 7 to 12, 100 churches in Zaria City were burned down and over 300 Christian homes and businesses, cars, and a couple of people killed and destroyed.
Yes, Middleburg.
I was the leader then of the Christian Association Zaria chapter.
Are you listening?
In 1987, in March, 7 to 12, 100 churches in Zaria City were burned down and over 300 Christian homes and businesses, cars, and a couple of people killed and destroyed.
In Zaria.
I was the leader then of the Christian Association Zaria chapter.
Yes.
And the Lord asked me to tell the people to do nothing.
Yes.
And I wrote that letter. It was circulated, and the Christians watched as their businesses were being destroyed, homes killed.
This by Fulani.
In 2010, I was in Jos as bishop.
Send me the belt.
To the date, 7th to the 12th of March, 3 villages in the near outskirts of Jos. Muslims massacred men, women, and children.
Are you listening?
And the church leaders, we were all convinced to beg the villagers and those that survived and the entire Christian community to do nothing.
Yes, Christians do nothing.
They cried until their voices were dried up, tears dried up, and there was nothing more to cry, and they just watched. In 2006, over 40 people came to my house to kill me. It turned out I postponed my return home, and they met my wife. They did unspeakable things to her. I left her half dead and totally blind.
Are you listening? You are from the Middle Belt. One Nigeria. One Nigeria. He was a one Nigeria, no? He was in Zaria. They killed Christians. They killed, what they mean by Christians is that they killed the local populations, people who actually own the land. In that Zaria, they have the emir of Zaria, who is a visitor. He ran to Jos. They met him in Jos. He escaped, but they got his wife and they raped his wife. He's a very brave man. I'm going to give away this video to our people that do live videos so they can analyze it. Are you following what we're saying? Are you listening? You see, I keep saying it, as I said before, when I went to university in England, one of the first things that I had in mind was to, as I told my father before I went to England, is to understand how Britain brought this problem to us. And of course, to study and to research the level of stupidity in the brain of a black man. People wonder why I speak the way I do, why I curse and I insult black people. Because if I don't curse and insult black people, that area of your brain that harbors stupidity will continue to grow. So we need to diminish it. This is Nigeria for you. The man is giving you dates from years back. His own personal experience. The wife was raped in front of, defiled by Fulani Janjaweed. In the same country, they ask you, oh, come on, please go and vote. Vote in 2023, vote in 2099, vote in 2098. People are foolish. The same people, Christians from the Middle Belt, Southern Kaduna, in Jos, Biram, as I said to you. You are in the army. You are in the police. You are helping Fulani to extend their rule to your village by doing what is wrong before God and before man. Let us listen to this very man, because it is absolutely astonishing. Astonishing what people go through in the zoo and they keep quiet. But I'm very glad that the Yorubas have risen. And this very crop, I'm telling you, these people, they're now hardcore. Serious. They want Oduduwa freedom. All they care about now is Oduduwa freedom. And until Middle Belt rise up, they are finished. Let us listen.
Their voices were dried up.
Listen.
Tears dried up, and there was nothing more to cry.
Yes.
And they just watched.
Yes.
In 2006, over 40 people came to my house to kill me. It turned out I postponed my return home, and they met my wife.
Yes.
They did unspeakable things to her.
They did unspeakable things to her.
I left her half dead and totally blind.
They raped her to the point that she became blind. Have you ever seen a woman raped to the point where she became blind? This man is telling you not what happened to somebody else, what happened to the wife, what Fulani did to the wife. This same Fulani, some idiots, some fools, hey. I think it's about time when somebody says something about Nigeria, you put your fingers in idiots' eyes. They are foolish. This is what happens to you when you allow the Fulanis to come in. Your wife will be raped to the point that she will become blind. These are people that sleep with their cows. They sleep with cows, and they come and they rape your wife into blindness until your wife goes blind. Then you understand you're in a zoo, in a zoological republic, courtesy of Britain. And Britain cannot see any of these things. They see no evil and they hear no evil. And evil is happening, and you want men of good conscience to keep quiet. You want us to not to speak, not to talk, not to agitate for our freedom, to be quiet until Fulani will sweep us. Oh my God. God will punish all of you, all of you, Hanese and Pandef, all you idiots, all you fools, taking money from Fulani, taking money and making our lives a misery. Useless people. Listen.
Through the mercy of God, she recovered. 6 months later in the USA, she came back. Exactly 1 year later, they came back again. This time they met me at home. Over 30 people came, broke down the house. They had their time, broke down the back door, came in, and took me out to kill me.
Are you listening?
They later on changed their minds and said they would kill me in my bedroom. I pleaded with them to pray, and they allowed me to pray.
Yes.
As I prostrated before the Lord, about 2 minutes later, my wife was holding my hands. 5 minutes later, my son came in and I said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "Daddy, they've gone." What chased them away, what they saw, what they didn't see, only eternity will reveal.
Are you listening?
Now, friends, I'm not saying this to play down on those who have died. I've lost a classmate who was a pastor in Kaduna. He was roasted in his church.
Roasted in his church
I've
in
lost
Kaduna.
colleagues, schoolmates, and brothers and sisters who've been slaughtered for the faith.
Yes.
Why I'm alive, I don't know. But one thing I know, until my time is up, and I know I will die someday, blood crash, air crash, car crash, whatever crash, until that day, I have a gospel to proclaim. I have a gospel worth living for. And I have a gospel worth dying for. Amen.
He has finished. He survived it. His friends did not. The wife suffered rape until she became blind. That is the Nigeria that some idiots are canvassing for to be continued. I don't understand it. Some of you don't learn. People from the Middle Belt, they told them, "Your man is your problem, Biafra is your problem, go and fight them, go and kill them." They came to our land and they killed over 5 million people. Today, are they not being killed by the same people? Today, I don't know, are they not in the forests of Yoruba land? Are they not in their forests killing them? Those that said, "Oh, we are Niger Delta, we are South. Have you been spared? Are you not being killed? Do you see where we came? Where Chukwukikabiyama determined that we should come. Now, this man is from the Middle Belt, the same Middle Belt that Gowon comes from. Somebody said his name is, I don't know what his name is, this Jonah Jang. He said that the problem in the zoo, the Fulani problem started after Gowon was overthrown. I don't know how grown-up men in the zoo, Nigeria, especially some of them you call your elders, how they can be so deceptive. They are liars, selective in what they wish to recall, and they come and they spew out outright lies. Look at this very man telling us that a problem started. Was Gowon not the problem? Gowon was a Christian. Gowon was fighting for one Nigeria. I want to let you look at, if you want to see how sad your lives are, look at Gowon. Gowon was a head of state. He was a Christian. They brought him out. He thought he was fighting for one Nigeria, but today go to his village, go to his state. What is happening to him? They got what's his name? T.Y. Danjuma. He was fighting for one Nigeria. He was going to kill you. He was killing Igbo people. He killed Ironsi. He was fighting to kill everybody. He was so deadly during the war. Because they told him the problem you have is Biafra is an Igbo man. Don't kill him. He went. Today, the same man is lamenting because they never learned anything from history. That is how Fulani operate. Today, they have gone to police stations and to army barracks to tell them, "Hey, IPOB is the problem. nnamdi Kanu is the problem. Go and kill him. Go and kill every IPOB officer." But these are idiots from the Middle Belt. These are officers in the army and police from the Middle Belt. In their own villages, Fulanis have taken over. And the same Fulani is telling you to go and kill IPOB, killing nnamdi Kanu, kill everybody, and you are doing it. Can you see how foolish you are? All of you, even those working in the courts in our land, do you see how foolish you are? So you don't know, by detaining somebody who is agitating for your freedom, you are helping the Fulani to advance into your village and take it over. Look at Jos, what is happening in the Middle Belt. You had a living testimony. How Nigeria's problem started with the coup that overthrew go on, Jonah Jan, people talking. These are the so-called elders, people lying. He never knew that Gowon should have insisted on the implementation of Aburi. Aburi is the same restructuring they're clamoring for today, you know. The same restructuring. Every idiot now is, let's restructure, let's have a dialogue, all that rubbish. Imagine 193 million people begging 7 million people to have a dialogue. Have you seen anything more stupid in your life before? 193 million people begging 7 million people, please, can we have a dialogue? I have never seen such idiocy only in Africa. That was why only 5,000 Europeans conquered the whole of Africa. We are foolish to the bone marrow. John Hajang, a former Plateau state governor, the same Plateau that is being ravaged today, they were the ones that fought the war against Biafra. They knew that Ojukwu went to Aburi to negotiate for restructuring, for regionalization. The same thing that you have in England. But England said, UK said no. I don't understand it. The same thing. Gowon came back and was overthrown. Now he's saying that it was the overthrow of Gowon when they were being lied to. When that's the thing about our people, very, very envious. People are very, very individualistic and selfish, envious. And Ojukwu went to Aburi to negotiate the restore after 50 years. After 50 years, the same thing that Ojukwu saw, the same thing that Ojukwu fought for, is what they are now. Everybody's now clamoring and fighting for it. Now you understand, don't you? That we are always right. When we refuse to vote for Buhari, we are right. We knew him. The thing these days that I'm happy about is that our Yoruba brothers now understand that we are measured in our thinking. When we say no to something, that thing, there is evil in it. Now, they are going to use Tinubu to try to deceive them once again. They will bring out Tinubu. They will be talking about, as I said, I trust this very set. It's not like the ones who have gone before. These are young, vibrant men and women. Dudua movement. And they're not going back anymore. That's what. And they have hoisted their flag in Yaba. Did anybody shoot at them? Did the Lagos state governor come out as Umahi will foolishly do, idiots? No sit at home here. That should be no sit at people. I am asking Umahi, are you richer than Lagos state? Do you know that the Yoruba Oduduwa flag was flying in Yaba? Did someone come out to say, oh, who are those? Arrest them. My friend is the commandant of Ojo Cantonment. Go and shoot them. If he's a stupid, hopeless Igbo governor, useless to the bone, you hopeless, go and shoot them. Because you're trying to please your Fulani master. So they can give you presidency. But they're not going anywhere. Let them come and campaign now for presidency. Let's see. That time they will know how angry we are. They think they are smart. Look, people are angry. In Ebonyi State, Fulani headsmen are slaughtering people. I want some people to Google it tonight and post it. Those listening on my page on Facebook, go and Google it and post the link. Dave Umahi opened his mouth and said, they are raping our mothers and killing them in Ebonyi State. It is there. It was carried by Punch newspaper. Go and look for it. We said, we are fed up of Fulani killing us in Ebonyi State. The same government came out and said, oh, there should be no sit at home. There is no problem here. Because he wants to contest for presidency. Because of the money you took from his Islamic bank to build 1 or 2 flyovers. You think because of that rubbish, we then sacrifice our lives. The same idiotic move made by Fulani peasants. And today, Gobe is named Sokoto, is gone. You think you're smart? They know nothing. These people, they know nothing. These people are lying. You see that said, we are elders. They are liars and deceivers. They are liars and deceivers. Somebody should go and ask, go on. Who is responsible for the mess now happening in the zoo? Is it not you? Go on. Nobody. You have journalists, seasoned journalists, seasoned journalist emeritus, and I'm asking them, why have you not been to go and ask Gowon, why did you not honor Aburi Accord? Why don't you ask all of them agitating today for one national dialogue or the other, or for constitutional review? Ask them what happened when Ojukwu went to Aburi, that you came and you were lying that Ojukwu seceded. Liars and deceivers. Liars, and now their shame has caught up with them. They no longer know how to hide their shame anymore. They are now looking for excuses. The same middle belt has been ravaged. Where people are being killed in southern Kaduna, they are being slaughtered. In the same southern Kaduna, they have their sons and their daughters in the army, fighting those who are fighting for their freedom. How foolish can black people be, I ask? The same thing goes for those who are working in the courts in Biafra land. You want to jail somebody who is fighting for you. The problem of Nigeria today is Gowon. Gowon is the problem. He may say that the British forced him. Gowon is the problem of Nigeria. That is why I said I'm praying. I'm praying every day. And he knows that God is no longer listening to his prayers because he comes from Plateau State. In Benue, Plateau is now the epicenter of Fulani banditry and terrorism as punishment, because if you touch the anointed of God, God will always pay you back. All the terrorism ravaging the north is as a result of what they did in our land. And if I say to them, the reason why all these foreign terror groups are now killing the army and the police in the north is because of Operation Python Dance, they won't believe it. But that is the reason why. They will kill all of them, and they'll keep killing them. And today, Plateau, people of Birom today, there is no Birom man or woman who can claim to be a local government chairman. It's because of Gowon. Gowon is the problem. Gowon went to Ghana, discussed with Ojukwu how things are going to be. He came back and he reneged, and he had the temerity to come out and say that Ojukwu seceded. And those, let me catch a journalist again, write that nonsense that Ojukwu went to war, or Biafra seceded. I'm just waiting to read from one idiot. Then I will disgrace the fool. Idiots everywhere in this zoo. That's why I call them zoo animals. They claim they went to school. And I have said they should knock down, they should bulldoze every university in the zoo. It is useless. What they train are idiots. As you're coming out of the zoo as a graduate and you go and do that, you're useless NYSC, you become a very foolish idiot, an animal for the rest of your life, because you can no longer reason. 193 million people. Have you heard of such? Do the mathematics. 193 million people begging 7 million people to please help us make our lives more tolerable. In front of your eyes, before your two naked eyes, they shut down 4 refineries and gave their own person, another Fulani man, license to go and build a refinery. In your own eyes, every day you wake up and you talk about one Nigeria. Are you not foolish? Are you not hopeless? Are you not idiotic? Gowon was the man who sabotaged Aburi, and as such is the man responsible today for all the woes happening in this zoological republic that Britain created. The British imperialistic tendencies that scuttled the beautiful Aburi Accord is the reason why all of you are in a mess. Is the reason why you are dying in the Middle Belt. Is the reason why there are Fulanis camped in your villages right now. Is the reason for the rise of Mieti Allah. Gowon is the one responsible for it. And everybody fell hook, line, and sinker for the British BBC propaganda against Biafra and Ojukwu. All of you fell for it. The same way that they are carrying their propaganda against me and IPOB. But only this time that we are formidable. If you give us 1, we give you 100. That is why they are afraid of us. Bring it on. I don't care who you are. If you like the CNN, let them do any documentary about us, and they know who we are. Even Facebook has gone on to close our a community of 1.5 million people. It doesn't matter how they conspire. Now we have our own platform. Now, as I'm speaking, the whole world is listening to me. They can no longer stifle us. They can no longer cage us. They can no longer censor what we say or what we are thinking. Now, the field is level. And they will get it. They will get it. People are now waking up to the reality that full on demonic plans for all of you ignorant fools shouting one Nigeria is very obvious. Once you shout one Nigeria, you are a complete bastard. You're an animal. I'm telling you the truth. Fulani is making use of your brain and you cannot see it, and you claim you went to school. You claim you're educated. But of course you're not. People moving cattle from place to look at Mieti Allah. Ordinary Mieti Allah can go to Asorok And they gave them 100 billion in front of all of you. All of you saw it. They didn't hide it. A terrorist group was given 100 million before all of you animals in the zoo. 193 million people begging 7 million people that came as visitors in your own land. Black people. I have told God in my next life I don't want to see blacks. I'm telling you, we are useless to the bottom line. We are useless. 193 million people begging 7 million people. Every day we are begging. They kill us in Southern Kaduna, we cry. They kill us in Zaria, we cry. They come to Agatu, they kill us, we cry. They go to the forest in Yoruba land, they kill Pafasharanti's daughter, we cry. Oh, that is all we do. That is all. And out of all of this nonsense, an idiot will come up and be talking about one Nigeria. It's even now, even a House of Reps member. Oh God in heaven, put me out of this misery and this UG. Black people, they drive me mad. Black people, the way they reason, they drive me insane. Why did you create black people? How can you create people who cannot reason? I don't understand it. Water bill is a northern agenda to tighten the noose on the south. Listen, somebody who went into the House of Reps and took an oath to be loyal to Nigeria. A member of the House of Representatives representing Ughelli North and the South and Udu Federal Constituency in the House of Honorable Francis Waive has described the water resources bill, the Fulani water resources bill, as a northern agenda, which is, when they say northern, it means Fulani. Forget about northern crap. After all, it is the same north that they are killing people in Kaduna. The same north that are killing Christians in Zaria. These are Hausa Christians. In the same north, in Birom, they are killing people in Plateau, killing TV people, killing everybody. They're killing your north. Northern agenda. It is a Fulani agenda. It's a northern agenda to tighten the noose on the south. And you have somebody from the same south, you can see clearly the intentions of the Fulani to take over your lives. You can see them coming with their AK-47 and their bombs. And you're there shouting, waving your flag, one Nigeria. Well, as you do for what he's doing. He thinks they'll give him presidency. He's a madman. Of course, he knows he cannot get it. Can you see it? Can he now? This is what they do. They convince you to be against yourselves. And I have asked go and ask, okay, Zipas, all these murderers that you have answering governors, Obiano, these are people that killed their own fellow brothers and sisters fighting for their freedom. Let me ask you, have you not heard of Oduduwa freedom and agitation? Have you not heard about it? Did you not see the flag all over the place, Yoruba flag? Has anyone killed them or burnt the flags? It's only you idiots. Only you fools, the fools. Every blessed day, this, IPOB did this, IPOB did. Can you now understand it? And let me tell you, there's something people haven't noticed as well. Look at Sahara reporters, look at all the Yoruba papers, Punch newspaper, all of them reporting Oduduwa agitation. Has any of them called them secessionists? No. But if it is an Igbo journalist now, once he writes, or Biafran journalist and submits, his Yoruba editor can come and go and change that, put secessionists there. But now, their own people are agitating to be free. Nobody's calling them secessionists. I want our people to put on their thinking caps. I want them to become reasonable. I want the governors of the East to look at what their counterparts are doing in the West and learn from it. Have you seen it? Now, if any of them comes out now to contest for presidency, they can support the person. But you, after killing IPOB family members, conniving to bring Operation Python dance, then you want to come and campaign so we can vote for you to become president. When you were governor, you killed us. When you're president, you drop bomb from you tell Nigeria first go and bomb our villages now. You think we are not sensible? Come and campaign, none of you. But of course, Biafra will come before them. None of you will smell that place. Your wickedness, all of you, all these idiots, we want to fight for Igbo president. You are in cloud cuckoo land. We are waiting for you to bring out your campaign vehicle on the streets of Biafra and Chilikapo. Then you know how angry we are. If you want to be president, join us and fight for Biafra. When Biafra comes, you contest to be the Biafran president. It will be the most prestigious office in Africa. Fools, and you think we are foolish? Come and campaign now. 2019 was the last time we played that game. It's not going to happen again. An honorable member, a federal what is it called again? Is it Federal House of Reps or whatever they call the rubbish? He's telling you that the Fulanis are coming for you. Yet you are there in saying, I'm a Delta, I'm part of Niger Delta of Nigeria. You can see that they're coming for you. According, not to me, not to nnamdi, not IPOB, not to anything we're saying. The person you sent to the Federal House to represent you, he has been to Abuja, he has seen what is about to come and is warning you. And you're there in your tiny hut in the creek, drinking polluted water, shouting in Niger Delta of Nigeria. Stupidity is a disease, a very big disease. The time now is approximately 25 minutes to the top of the hour. We are live and we are direct and we're bringing the gospel of heaven. The gospel of heaven. Of heaven. Azikiwe is in his grave today. He never knew that one Nigeria would be like this. If they said to Azikiwe, there will be a time when a federal house member in Abuja or the capital, anywhere it is, he will be telling our people that they are coming to enslave us. We won't believe it. He won't believe it. But he was there, Zeke of Africa, Zeke of Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. But now, look, hear what a politician is telling you, that they are coming for you. They're bringing everything, arming Miyetiyana, using the police and the army to advance Fulani terrorism into your homes and villages. They have bribed Facebook. They have bribed everybody. They have bribed everybody bribable to suppress the truth. Because, of course, from Bill Gates' perspective, any death in Nigeria is a plus for the world because there are 200 million. So, in fact, I even believe that the ones encouraging family terrorism. So, to keep the numbers down. I'm being honest with you. Not minding the overwhelming evidence of Fulani domination and patent Islamization. Some Yoruba people have not learned from the experience of their loss of a Lorin to the Fulani. Some so-called Yoruba are against the Oduduwa Republic. I'm talking about those who are against the Oduduwa Republic. But one good thing is that no Yoruba governor has ever mobilized the Fulani army to kill their people. Unlike the idiots you have in Biafra. These are the ones going to contest for presidency now. After you killed us as a governor, imagine what you're going to do to us when you become a president. You will come and behead all of us now. You will send the Fulani. You will want to prove to Fulani that you're a good Nigerian. So that means, and they will tell you, why don't you go and set an example with your own people? You will send them to come and behead all of us. Igbo man, president of Nigeria. Mad people everywhere. Oduduwa Republic, October 1 rally divides Yoruba leaders. They are divided. And in this very division that they have, these people claim they are educated. Some of them claim that they went to school. There is one calling himself High Chief Lakan Balogun. I have not seen any Yoruba Oba who supports self-determination. How can they support it when they are afraid they will be arrested if they do? Or Olu Badon was the only one at that Ibadan conference, and he was represented by his High Chief. And Lekon Balogun only pleaded for unity and peace among Yoruba. He did not preach self-determination. The idiot saying this thing doesn't know that there are Yoruba people in Benin Republic, Yoruba people in Togo as well. He claims he loves Yoruba people, but he doesn't want to see all Yoruba people united under one banner, under one nation. I don't know if it is the myth. There must be something wrong with any idiot that calls himself a Nigerian. I'm very sorry, it is not the High Chief Lakan Balogun, please. Let me see the monkey saying this type of rubbish. In fact, he didn't even put his name down. He didn't put his name. One is saying that more harm will be done. He's a coward. He didn't even put his name down. We need to involve everybody. Are you going to involve the same Oba who said he's now an emir in Yoruba land that the Fulanis gave money? He said he's now an emir. Are you going to involve him as well? The likes of the Supreme Court, people call him governor. I don't want anybody calling him governor anymore. He is the Supreme Court administrator. He is the Supreme Court Fulani appointed administrator of Imo State. I don't want anywhere on any IPOB Radio Biafra platform anybody referring to Hopos or them. Don't put the word governor before. No, he is the Supreme Court Fulani appointed administrator of Imo State. Is a mouthful, I know, but that is the title of his job. Do you now understand? Do you now understand? I hope that you do. I hope that you do. They are divided, of course. And everywhere you go to, you have an Ifulef. An Ifulef. This one, it says his name is Senator Femi Okoromu. The agitation by Akintoye-led Yoruba World Congress for Autonomous Federation is not the consensus of the Yorubas as a whole. But this idiot is there. As they killed Parfasharanti's daughter, the idiot did nothing. Senator Femi Okoromu, whatever the fool's name is. He's there, and the Fulanis are in their forests. He's doing nothing. His concern is that little money that the Fulani have promised him coming from Abuja. That's his concern, a black man. This huge. That's all. Once they are okay with their families, everybody else can go to hell. They don't care. That is how they reason. That is who they are. That is how they behave. But now they can see everywhere you go to, you have your own fair share. Somebody should remind that fool that middle belt people were saying the same thing before. When Gowon was there, they were dancing and basking in the euphoria. We were against Biafra. We defeated Biafra. Today, they wake up and they see 8, 9, 20 janjaweed on top of their wives. And by the end of the process, the woman will be blind. Now you understand? Please, that is why I don't feel sorry for any Ifulefu. 60 years on the edge. 60 years and the zoo is going nowhere. According to Danjuma, Dogonyaro, Lekwot, and others. And they are all from the Middle Belt. Danjuma, Dogonyaro, Lekwot, others. All from the Middle Belt. They were the ones that fought Biafra. They were the ones that carried the propaganda. Evil man is your problem. They're the ones that said that Biafra must be destroyed. Today they are crying. Today they are shedding blood. Today blood is coming out of their eyes. I'm not happy about it. It's called comeuppance. They are getting it today. Now they know Biafra wasn't the problem. Now they know that Ojukwu was not the problem. They are their own. The same place that Danjuma comes from is where Gowon comes from. Now the Middle Belt is paying the price the same way that the Hausa people paid the price for betraying their kings. Today the Middle Belt is doing the same thing. They are now crying, saying that things are no longer happening. What did they actually say? Least Biafra war, Sharia democracy, other matters to be investigated. Now they want Biafra war to be investigated. Now they understand that we did nothing wrong. Now they know that Ojukwu did not. But these were the people that fought Ojukwu. Now they are even using the same words that are used on Radio Biafra. Buhari's administration using colonial solutions to tackle problems. Now it is very clear that the Fulanis, they are the ones colonizing you. Very, very clear. Very, very clear. This is why we say sit at home. It's only that tells you how wicked and some of these governors are. Everybody is lamenting. Even people who are die in the wool Nigerians like Danjuma, they are lamenting. Is when we said, but the Fulanis are killing us in our farms. Can't you see it? Let us tell the world we're not happy. An Igbo man will rise up. There's no sit at home in Ebonyi. Ebonyi is a Fulani state now, as the Fulani police commissioner said. Is almost a Fulani state. Can you imagine? And that day, some idiots will leave their homes to come out. When they don't, if you leave your home to come out on the 1st of October in Abakaliki or in Ebonyi, the blood of all those people that the Fulani terrorists are killing in the farms are on your head. Umahi said, come out, defy the sit at home, because he wants to be vice president to a Fulani man. All the mining in Ebonyi is under Umahi's name with Chinese people. That's what he's doing. Some of you are blind. The same thing that the Fulanis did to Middle Belt is what he's doing to all of you, because you are blind. You are blind, you cannot see. When the result will come home, I will tell you, I told you so. As I was telling everybody before. When I told you people before that the Fulanis were coming, did you believe me? Did you believe me? I told you they will come. I said they are coming to enthrone bad governors. This thing they're saying today, I told you the Fulanis will come. Your life will be a misery. Has it not happened? Has it not happened before your eyes? The same thing will happen to you. People don't know. Omahi will destroy all of you in Ebonyi. By the time you wake up, I swear to God in heaven, you will become a Fulani caliphate. Then your eyes will clear. Mad people everywhere. Even now, after so many years, Biafra war, Sharia, democracy, other matters to be investigated. Now the eyes of everybody has opened. 50 years after Ojukwu told them this. What I'm fighting is a just cause. They didn't want to hear. Ojukwu kept saying, what I'm fighting, nobody wanted to listen. Yoruba did not want to listen. Middle Belt said, let's go and kill them. Even our own brothers, everybody, they bribed them, they gave money to some people from a Joland, like Edwin Clark, to become a traitor, and he was a traitor. They are today your leaders. Traitors of yesterday are today your leaders, and you're telling me that you're human beings. What type of God made you? Now, after demonizing Ojukwu, after talking rubbish about Biafra, after over 50 years, typical black people, they have now realized their mistakes. They are now saying, oh, we are very sorry. Which they will say to IP. Was IPOB, remember when we started, there was no name under the sun that we were not called. Every name miscreant. So are you telling me now that those people fighting for the Dubai Republic that they're miscreants? Are they touts? Are they seeking for recognition? Do they want money? Do they want fame? I want to let people understand the depth of evil in the heart of an Igbo man. I want to ask them, have you seen those who are agitating now? As a result, of course, when I met the Amazonians in America in those days, they told me, I asked them, how did you start? They said we were listening to Radio Biafra. I'm being honest, go and ask them. It spurred us to rise up to challenge the existing colonial imperialistic orthodoxy in Cameroon by listening to us on Radio Biafra. I'm being honest with you. Now in Western Togoland, in Ghana, they are fighting for freedom because they listen to Radio Biafra. People thought that the Yorubas can never wake up, that they will never rise up to fight. But now, this breed I'm seeing now, I'm even afraid of them. They are determined to the core. And as I said to them, Tinubu will try to use it to ride to Asarok. They said over there that it can never happen. So there is no fear that tomorrow they will give it to Tinubu and he will abandon. No. People can't abandon this. It's impossible. That is to tell you, everything we tell you comes to pass. Everything I tell you comes to pass. And why would people defend something as horrible as Nigeria? Because of what I call the empire mentality from our creators, the British, who adopted, I can't understand, people that they put in power after independence adopted the rogue mentality of building an empire. They call themselves nationalists. Before the white man came, were the Yorubas at war with Biafran people? The answer is no. Were we at war with Middle Belt? The answer is no. How come after they came and left? Because they built an empire. And there is something in the brain of black people. This is something that most people don't know. Black people, no matter how primitive we are, we love our freedom. And that is why in the next 50 years, you see Africa, you won't recognize it again. People are going to break into pieces. If they like, they can come back together later on. But to tell me that a white man can come from somewhere and model people up together and give you a name and you answer it, in 50 years' time, Africa will not be recognizable. People will break away. I'm telling you, people will want to be on their own the way we were before the white man came. And what is wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Those idiots that call themselves nationalists, they came and acquired the British Empire mentality. Let us expand. That was why Azikiwe said, no. They leave Nigeria the way it is. I don't believe in breakup because he wants to be an emperor and an empire that he did not build. That is the truth and the fact of life. That is why, even as we preach this very gospel, in the Western, they call it, is this Western Togoland, they call it. Western Togoland. They said Ghanaian police or the Ghanaian armed forces. That's where they are strong, armed forces. Ghana security forces say separatists killed in shootout. That's what they do. That is that colonial mentality, that empire mentality. There was no Ghana before the British came. Everybody was on their own. People want to go back to the way they were before the white man came, and you're busy shooting them because Nana Akufo-Addo wants to be an emperor. Britain gave us Ghana. You know, I don't understand this thing about black people. I'm struggling. When the white man came and was conquering us, we were complaining, saying we don't like it, we want the white man to go. And as soon as the white man left, that's a edifice of racism, which is a nation state in Africa. We allowed it to stand. That very philosophical inconsistency, that inconsistency in terms of our approach to something we clearly identified as a problem initially. When the white man left, instead of the nationalists to say, to your tent, O Israel, let us plan from there, they said, no, we want to, they even formed an army and police to police the boundary created by a white man. That is why I have no regard nor respect for them. People call them nationalists. I call them a bunch of idiots. They are nothing. Right across, you say they are nationalists. They fought rubbish. They fought for their pockets and their families. Those who fought for independence properly are those that allowed people to go back to how they were before the white man came. You're killing people in Western Togo. And I'm asking Kofi Nana Addo, the president of Ghana, before the white man came, did your ancestors have anything called Ghana before, or Gold Coast? But now the white man has left. You want to assume. People are very, very backwards. Very, very backwards. Very, very backwards, I'm telling you. That is why I call African people fools. They don't have any brain. They cannot reason very well. Let us go back to how we were before the white man came. Then if I want to be in the same country with Oduduwa people, I can go negotiate with them and say, we have this and that in common. We can benefit each other. We debate it. We vote on it. We go to place beside. We ask the people and they vote. That's how it's done. Anybody you want to join you, you go to them and they willingly join. As Scotland willingly joined the UK over 300 years ago, and today they want to go. And nobody's stopping them. I don't know what's wrong with African people. A white man came and built some junk, called it Nigeria, which you don't even know the meaning of the name. And you're jumping up and down. I'm a Nigerian. Let's defend Nigeria. And I'm wondering what type of cage the animal jumped out from. And possibly a university degree holder for that matter. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad, but we must preach the gospel of truth. We must preach this very gospel. So Fulani will continue to wreak havoc on all of you. They will continue. That is why they said, effort for peace sake, Southern must become next president. We are not interested. This is Audu Ogbe. He's from the Middle Belt. He's in the Middle Belt, Audu Ogbe, a Southerner should be. Is that which is our problem? Do you think we are fools? Don't you think that we can go and support somebody to become president so people can be made whatever thing that they want to be, given positions and slots, and they'll make so much money? You don't know we can do that? That is not our cup of tea. If you like, spread your presidency like a confetti all over the place. That is when they will know who we are. We are not interested. If you like, come to my village, and after P2B and Atiku, that band has come and gone. That is the end of it. No more. No presidency, nothing. Let us give it. Do you think we are foolish? The same way you use your so-called presidency or head of state, you gave it to go on, a Christian from Middle Belt. And then you took over all of them and said, we are all one North. And they agreed. And today, what is happening to them? There's something you want to do to us. Hey, come and take the presidency. After that, then, look, Jonathan was president for 6 years. What happened? Any improvement? Is there any improvement? A few people were enriched, that's all. Tell me the tangible improvement for the woman in the creek drinking contaminated water. How did you improve her life? And all of the children. How, I ask. People are jumping around. It's our turn. For equity's sake, you are foolish. Some of you live abroad. When you live abroad, is Donald Trump your cousin? Is he from your village? It's the policies that matter, how the country is structured, how it is run. It doesn't matter where somebody comes from. I'm asking you, for some of you that live in the UK shouting, is Igbo man's turn? Is Boris Johnson from your village? Is Boris Johnson from your village? I ask you. People talk as if they cannot reason very well. What we want is our freedom, and that freedom we're going to get. If you like, you can go and join the flan. They will deceive you. Say, it's because of nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. That is why you cannot get the presidency. See what you can do. Some of you will try to poison us. You can go and plan with them to arrest and to do all manner of evil to us. But you cannot succeed. You cannot prevail. You can never, ever prevail. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Keep your useless presidency. We don't want it. You can canvass all you like. You can pay all the journalists to write all the junk they like. You cannot move us. There is no presidency. We don't want it. What we want is freedom. It's as simple as that. If you don't like it, you can go to hell. Or that is one man, one vote. There'll be referendum. That's all we're asking for. And when that happens, one man, one vote. If you want the the headsmen to stop abducting Catholic priests in Delta, which is a headline on Vanguard newspaper. They abducted a Catholic priest. Some of you who are shouting one Nigeria, Loretta Onochie, this is where you claim you come from, the great harlot in Asorok. This is where you claim you come from. Suspected Fulani headsmen on Saturday evening kidnapped a Catholic priest, Reverend Father Jude Onyebade, and 3 of his workers in his farm along Isele, Bitime Road, and the Ocha North local government area of Delta State, throwing the area into fear. When IPOB goes in there now to dislodge them, they start complaining, they send the army, they send the police. Now that they have come, they have kidnapped. No army, no police, nobody is shooting up the village, nothing. Because it's Fulani. That is their game plan. Loretta Onochie, you are in Asorok, supplying dead wood prostitutes to idiots in Asorok. This is what is happening in your so-called state. Have you seen it? This is one thing that fools don't understand. I was warning you before, if you're shouting one Nigeria and working for the Fulani Janjaweed, your village is in danger. Loretta Onochie, your village is in danger. Have you seen what they have done? These are Fulani people. These are the idiots that you're serving and supplying filthy, dirty, diseased women to in Asorok. You can see it. She's a madam, high-class madam in Asorok, supplying prostitutes to idiots. Fulani Janjaweed don't circumcise in Asorok. Her village is burning. They are kidnapping priests and people in her village. As I told you before, that is what you get when you serve Fulani Janjaweed. When you talk rubbish about one Nigeria, you place your village in danger. This is for Loretta Onochie. Go and read it up. Go and Google it and read it up. It is there very clear for the whole world. Headsmen abduct Catholic priests in Delta. It is very clear for the whole world to see and to hear. As I warned you before. We are not Igbo, we are Nioma, we are Niocha, we are Nioji, all that rubbish. Fulani have come. Those that told you that you're not Igbo, they have come to Delta to deal with you. People cannot reason. But here we compel them, we force them to reason, and they are reasoning because they have no choice. They must reason. They have no choice. They must reason. And Facebook is doing all they can as usual to suppress our numbers, but of course they are joking. We have Facebook, we have IPOB Community Radio. That is where a lot of people listen to us these days on. That is the platform we are on. Very, very soon, as your firm is working very hard, we go interactive. We can begin to interact there. And then, you to hell with your Facebook. We go there because it will have interactive functionality. We can chat each other up. People can message us in the open during live program like this, so that the world may know. It's gone now. Headsmen in Delta, they have taken the priest. Loretta Onochie is tweeting for Fulani in Asorok. He's tweeting for, look at her face, is all burnt with cream, bleaching cream, burnt. Look at your village. Look at your village. Useless woman. Look at your village. The people you are serving in Asorok, supplying prostitutes to, they are the ones in your village. Their children are in your village, ravaging your village. You are in Asorok doing one Nigeria. Oh, people are very, very foolish. Very, very foolish. Very, very foolish. We are live and we are there, of course. We are coming to the end of our program, but not quite yet. Another gas explosion in Lagos. They say everything is gas. They explode the bomb, Fulani explode the bomb, kill people. They say it's gas. Even where there is no gas, so it is gas. Gas explosion. Oh God, if there's anything like mixed life, Nigeria, Fulani have killed people in Lagos. Several persons were killed and injured, and vehicles burnt in a gas explosion, which is Fulani terrorist attack in Lagos. Very, very simple. They are working hand in hand with the Fulani terrorist army. Hand in hand with the Fulani terrorist army. That is what they are doing, and bombing and killing people all over the place. And some idiots cannot see, they cannot understand it. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. And I'm sure now that the Shia have risen to complain about the film made by Peter Dochie, I hope the world can understand that for what it is. A very, very sad case indeed. You all saw the nonsense written, which I will analyze, of course, on Wednesday, the letter by Garba Shehu to Commonwealth. I will analyze it in depth on Wednesday, because right now we have come to the top of the hour. Our 2 hours is almost up. There are a lot of things that I would like to bring to you today, but unfortunately, we cannot be able to do so. We have come to the end of the program this very day, but do understand one thing. If you're in support of one Nigeria, that means you want Fulani to take over your village. You want terrorists to run your lives. You want this reign of agony and mediocrity to continue forever and ever. Even those who were instrumental in rigging the now late dead Buhari into power, they are lamenting very seriously because Fulani terrorism has taken over the place. But we are saying no to it. We are resisting and we're doing all we can to resist. And I am glad to say that people are now waking up, people are now rising up from all over the place. And we are winning this very battle by the grace of Chukwukika and not by anything we have been able to do so far. I thank you all for listening this very evening, morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And as always, do not forget, people wonder why we are fanatical about Biafra. We are fanatical about Biafra because Biafra is our religion. Here on radio, Biafra is where we worship because Elohim Chukwukika is our God. I thank you very much for